anyone who lives anywhere in the Bay Area can lobby the BCDC commissioners because they're from all over the Bay Area on that issue. So you don't necessarily have to just live in Oakland per se. So we need community members and people who are in favor of the project to lean in on that and hopefully, express their opinions on why this is an important project. And then secondly, we really need to get that vote scheduled of the city council. And, that has to really be done this year. The mayor, this is her last year in office. She's been an incredible proponent and leader of this project at every level. And, we really need to have the vote this year. I'd like to have it as soon as possible, but maybe, it's going to take a little longer than I'd like, but this year is really the deadline. And we have to work through these final approvals before we have an election, before there's a new city council. That just brings too much uncertainty and pushes the timeline back too far.
Yeah, what do you think, Mayor? What should we be doing? And I regret the fact that you have to leave office later in the year. I'm a big supporter of term limits when they apply to people I don't like. But you've done such a great job in Oakland, and it's such a difficult time. And we wish you could stay longer. But Dave speaks correctly to that timetable. What can we do to get to the end game?
Well, and I'm not the only one leaving office. There's going to be a whole new group of leaders that come in the new year, as there often is. And so we have momentum going now. We know this thing needs to get built. Our lawyers are madly drafting language, pesky lawyers. I'm a recovering one myself. And so really that's going to drive the timeline of when this thing comes to a vote. There are many different pieces. All of them feel like they're falling into place. We will have a big infrastructure grant request out to the federal government that ironically we probably should know about in the early fall, late summer. So that timing might be auspicious. And Dave, when are we going to actually sit in the sunshine? I mean, look at the day outside. Don't you want a Coliseum dog and a Bud Light in your hand and just, watching them round the bases right now? When are we going to get that experience? When is opening day going to be again?
Well, it depends on the lawsuits and all the other moving pieces, but we want to get going as soon as possible and get this ballpark built. And that's why it's incredibly important to get the approvals this year. And then I think we can more properly lay out a date, whether it's 2026, 2027, where we can open the new ballpark. And that's our hope. And, we're obviously putting a lot into making this happen. And your partnership has been incredibly important as part of that.
Well, and we need people who support this project to show up at these meetings. So please put particularly June 30th on your calendar. We need folks at that BCDC meeting. This requires a 2/3 vote. It is awesome that the initial staff recommendation is positive for the project, but that can change. And so people who see this vision for Oakland and our region have got to be louder and prouder about it.